You're fucking. I don't know. I understand how it
Piss
works.
jugs.
It just
Piss
seems-
jugs.
It seems like a waste of fucking time.
Piss jugs and milk bags.
Hey, oh boyo, welcome back to the Part Timers Podcast. I think this is episode 6 now. Forgive me if I'm not a little talkative today. I've had a long fucking week.
I think we both have.
Yeah, we have had a long week, but
Yeah.
it's a good thing Brendon's here because Brendon can talk like a motherfucker.
Hey.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I
That's
brought
all I do.
myself my little buff goblin here.
Buff.
The buff goblin.
Buff goblin.
Brendon Reece himself. Brendon, how are you doing, baby?
You know what? I'm doing real well. This mic, I'm still getting used to it being like this close to my face.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm like trying to talk to you, and I'm like looking over the mic. It's almost like have you ever been to the dentist and like people are talking to you and
And your mouth's open?
yeah, you want to make eye contact with them,
But you can't
but
move
you
your
can't-
face.
You
Yeah.
can't move your face whatsoever. It's like, yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can feel that. I
Yeah.
can understand
Yeah,
that for
I
sure.
get that. That's a good one.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good one.
point. Well, Brendon, tell us about yourself. I mean, I already know a shit ton about you, but
Yeah,
people listening,
yeah.
maybe even Keith, maybe doesn't know a lot about you. Tell me
Yeah,
a little
let's
bit
go
about
with
yourself.
that.
Okay, so so my name's Brendon.
Hi, Brendon.
I'm a medic in the Canadian Armed Forces. I joined the reserves in my last year of high school as a medical assistant. I did my basic training in my last semester of high school, and since then I've gone on a number of different courses. I'm not a qualified medic yet, but I've been a lot of places. I seen some things,
Seen it.
seen a lot of things, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to share my perspective on like my first year out of high school, just doing army shit, being
Yeah.
being an adult.
Yeah, we
course.
definitely want to hear it too because that's entertaining shit, man.
I also don't want to overwhelm it with you, though. I don't want to be like, "Yo, tell me everything you know." 'Cause
Right, and you can obviously filter yourself as far as what you can tell us and what you can't, and we totally fucking get that.
Here's what I can tell you, though, Brendan. You can be my medic anytime. I am more than okay with that.
I don't care if you're qualified or not.
Yeah. Touch me whenever. Okay, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about Saskatchewan, all right? Our lovely flat Saskatchewan, the place where you can watch your dog run away for 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
So we were talking about this a little bit before we actually started recording, and we just kind of, I was going to tell you, Saskatchewan has some very unique language to it, and I think every province sort of has their own colloquialisms that
Right.
are
Colloquialisms. I
yes.
like that. Fuck yeah.
It's the word of the day.
Good one.
Word of the
Ooh.
day.
Hashtag colloquialism.
ColecoVision.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to spell it.
Yeah, so each province sort of has their words, right, that either provinces mock them for or they actually just don't know whatsoever.
Right.
So I was in Petawawa on a driver course. I was learning to drive all of the sort of the basic vehicles in the military, just like trucks.
Yeah.
Chevy Silverado, painted green.
Right.
Yeah.
Painted green.
You need a special military license to drive them.
You can't have that color anywhere but the
No,
military.
no.
Not allowed.
Yeah.
If you do, you get yelled at.
Green paint plus 10 armor. But-
Oh shit.
Oh,
no.
yeah. Steven knows all about that.
oh yeah. No, it's like that's a whole other conversation in and of itself. But yeah. So I was talking in Petawawa with these people from everywhere but Saskatchewan, actually.
Yeah.
So I think it was people from Winnipeg, British Columbia, Alberta, and Ontario.
So like everywhere else. Yeah.
Yes.
Everywhere that's not Saskatchewan.
Yeah. And I think there was one fella from I want to say Newfoundland, but I
Yeah.
always mix up Nova Scotia and Newfoundland because they don't sound exactly the same, but
They're similar.
I'm sorry,
Tough to tell.
Maritimers are just
Maritimes-
Maritimers,
yeah.
man. Like that's anyways, I was talking with them, and we had one guy there that was he wasn't of age to buy liquor in Ontario. So I was like, oh no, that's all right, man, I'll pull for you. And he was like, fuck does that mean?
You didn't know what pull?
No.
Really?
No, that's a Saskatchewan thing. And
Oh,
I didn't
shit.
even know that was
Yeah.
a Saskatchewan thing until I asked every person there. You know what pulling is, right? Like, you weren't a nerd in high school. You went to parties. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what pulling is. No, but they call it, at least the guys from the West Coast, like Alberta and BC, they were telling me that over there they call it booting.
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 Ooh.
Like if you were going to bootleg
Yeah.
liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
I
cooler than
guess.
pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
See, pulling, I guess, if you think about it, doesn't really make sense either. But I mean, it's always been pulling.
yeah, and
It's code.
I mean, there's a few other words that come to mind just on this topic, like bunny hug.
Bunny hug.
For-
Nobody
for hoodie.
fucking knows what bunny hug means.
Yeah, no, I mean, shit, that's actually like that's a dying word, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even in Saskatchewan, I say bunny hug, and like people are like, "Fuck, are you talking about?"
Yeah.
like it's like
I still like to
Bunny
say
hug.
it because I mean it's Saskatchewan.
Bunny, there's
Yeah.
hug, bunny hug
Bunny
together.
hug.
Why would you not want to say it?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Why would you not want to hug a bunny?
Right.
exactly, exactly. It's it makes you. It's warm and it's fuzzy. It's
Right.
a bunny hug.
I don't know if this is necessarily Saskatchewan, but more like a Canadian word. But I mean, like couch. People don't call shit couches, like they call it a sofa in the States.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't call it a couch.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where either of the terms come from. I don't know that as far
I
as
don't
that
know
much.
either.
But
What else? Like,
Uh,
yeah, when you say that, I remember
soda,
there
soda
being,
pop. soda. People call
Soda.
soda, and we're
That's
like,
right.
it's fucking, it's pop.
It's
soda.
I
pop.
don't know.
Yeah, pop.
So damn good.
Soda drink.
Um,
damn.
I want that drink.
what about? Do we call? I remember there being something with the word Chesterfield.
Yeah, like a Chesterfield. Oh,
Poor Chester.
Curtis, help
What?
me out here.
I don't
I know
know
this.
what
I'm
a
blanking.
Chesterfield
You know what a
is.
Chesterfield is?
I would assume
Grandma,
it's
grandma, it was an old timey word.
old time.
Old timey word, and she was like, "Oh, put that on the Chesterfield." I want to say,
Oh, it was like it was kind of like not an ottoman, but like a hutch maybe.
yeah, it was like a hutch, like a.
It's a fucking
Like a-
thing.
Isn't that
It's a
Isn't that
thing.
a fucking footstool? Like,
I see.
like
I don't
An
know.
ottoman, I'm pretty sure. Is a
Ottoman,
footstool.
ottoman's like a. I think an ottoman is a footstool.
Yeah, it's like a comfy ass
Chesterfield.
footstool though.
A
It's
Chesterfield's
not like,
a couch. Apparently,
Is it?
It's a Chesterfield leather couch.
Like, is it a 3-seater?
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe a Chesterfield is a 3-seater and a sofa is a 2-seater. I don't know.
couch, also known as a sofa or a
couch.
settee. Who the fuck calls it a settee? No one.
Nobody.
S-E-T-T-E-E.
Nobody ever.
Seedy.
Hey,
take
have
a
a
seat.
have a
Take
seedy
a
on the
seedy.
seedy.
Take a seat, yeah.
Fucking no! Get the fuck out of here.
Get the
seedy.
fuck out of here.
Fuck
Get
out of
the
here with your
fuck
dumb
outta
ass
here.
eating ass seedy.
You different
Holy.
word having ass.
But no, on the subject and everything like that is, I think we were talking about this too. Is the word grid roads? I was talking to a guy who is from the Maritimes, and I mentioned the word grid road, and he's like, "Huh?" And I said, and I was like,
Eh?
"It's a grid road, like a gravel road." And he's like, "Why the fuck? Why do you call it a grid?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
He's like, I don't know why. We do.
It looks
Yeah,
like
see-
a grid.
see,
I don't
to me,
fucking know.
From the because like the grid roads are always like mile by a mile. You know what I mean? They're squares. You know.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
when you look
exactly.
at it from like a satellite picture or from the sky or whatever, it looks like a perfect or near perfect grid, right?
Right.
With the exception of a few weird land spots and gullies
Right.
and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, but
Nice sections.
yeah, I don't know.
But no,
that
it's-
might be why we call it a grid. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
That's
But, I mean,
that's
it is
what
like-
I always thought, because I was like, well, you look at it, it's a fucking grid.
Yeah.
And like different another thing could be different rural municipalities like RMs.
Yep.
They're actually divided by certain roads, so they
Yes.
would be divided in a grid.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
At the same time, I
Smart boy.
realized that
Smart.
that we have Google at our fingertips and we could just answer this
I
question.
guess we could, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could have done some research throughout the week, but
I
again,
suppose we
no
could. Well,
fucking time.
it was a pretty on the fly thing, and like that's one of those things where you say, that's a good question, but I don't
clue.
really care.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't care enough to take 10 seconds to type it into Google.
Yeah,
And
it's-
here's
I'd rather talk about it. you
Yeah.
another
know?
thing I realize in terms of language is if we went west, like when we went to Revelstoke, Brendan.
And Revelstoke is on like
In
near,
BC.
near the west coast. In
Yeah,
BC.
near the west coast. And when you go there, people really didn't have accents. There was nothing special. There was people, but when you go
You don't
east,
hear it. You don't hear it. I
no,
think.
but when you go east, it could be a whole different bar game, ball game.
Sure.
But like if you know what I mean, they say they're like if you go to Toronto, they're gonna be like Toronto. Oh, I'd say
Tirana.
my R
Good
is
old
high.
Tirana.
Like turn it fucking
Well,
hard.
hang
Like
on. you know
Is that-
what
or is that-
you know what Toronto and like the southern Ontario sounds like is
Rednecks?
like Boston.
welfare,
Hey,
boy.
kinda
Canadian
like
Boston.
a soft Boston, like a soft,
Hey.
very soft Boston accent,
Yes.
very
yeah.
soft.
You know what? Like, you're so right about that. Like, the further you go west, people just sound like,
Similar.
I don't know. They sound like
Irish.
They
More
sound
monotone.
like
Irish.
More monotone when you
Like
go west.
I've met
They're like,
some rural Albertans that sort of have their own accent, but like that's a pretty. It's kind of an isolated thing. Actually, that's like rural people around here. They sound different, but
yeah.
I think the further you go east, the more you start encountering people where
Rs.
they talk and you're like,
Care.
I'm sorry, what?
Transfer truck. You know that's what they call semis, hey? They don't call semis like semis.
What's a semi?
It's not a semi. It's not
It's
a
a
semi. it's not
transfer
It's a
truck.
transfer
Oh, wait,
truck.
that's
A
redneck.
transfer truck. Yeah.
That
Well, you know what? It makes more sense.
I guess if you drink milk out of bags, it makes sense.
Yeah, if you're
Right.
fucked in the head. If you like making a
Gross.
mess, it makes sense.
making
Yeah.
a mess.
Well, really? Yeah. But really, like, I don't fucking get it at all. Like, why would you take milk in a bag? Why wouldn't it not be in a container? It's so why? So you could take the bag home and put it in a container? That seems fucking redundant.
Right.
I don't
That's
get it.
exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do.
That's weird.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you
They'll have like a
something.
glass jar.
Yes.
Fucking
A glass or a
stupid.
plastic jar,
Yeah.
and it's one of those like thermoplastic
Yep.
like jugs that you'd almost like put lemonade in or something.
Yes.
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But all I can think of whenever I look at one of those fucking things that they put the milk bag in
Right.
is like it looks like one of the jugs that that you get people to urinate in. Like it looks like
Look-
part of a bedpan.
Oh, like
set.
look like a catheter bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no.
yeah. Not quite. Not quite.
Ew, guys.
Okay, yeah.
the fuck
milk,
have you
the
guys
milk,
been pissing into
the
all these
milk
years?
bag
The
looks
milk-
like a catheter bag.
Yes,
Sure. No,
yeah.
I was talking about like the jug. Like,
To get people
haven't
to
you ever
piss in
been
the
in a
jug?
hospital and I don't know?
They never
have you
said,
ever had-
"Hey,
have you ever had
piss in this
surgery?
jug for me."
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Well, the thing is, sometimes people have surgery and they can't really move them because they'll get
Right.
nauseous
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from standing up.
Right.
So they can't go to the bathroom,
Right.
but they still need to piss.
Bedpan.
So, yeah, they have bedpans.
Yeah.
Or they have, for men, they have a jug.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, the jug has a handle, you just hold it up.
Hold it up. Put
Piss in the
your
jug.
whole dick and balls in there,
Yeah.
and just have a good old.
I'm
Good
going to
old
be
tinkle.
honest.
That's what's called the vanilla dip.
I'd call it the lemon dip, but
No.
the vanilla dip sounds.
Yeah,
funny.
you can have different flavors.
I just realized I'm making myself sound like a fucking dope because I can't describe this really simple like medical thing, but it's not my forte, man.
Yeah,
I'm
milk
I'm
bags
an
are not-
EMR. I
don't-
fucking handle trauma. I don't deal with the aftermath where a fucking LPN comes along and empties a guy's bedpan. That's not my job, and
Right.
I never want it to be.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the bag of milk thing, because I'm still not over this.
Right.
Someone was telling me, oh, it was for when they had milk delivery. Bullshit, Grandpa. That is not. Because why? So what? Oh, they all fell on top of each other
Didn't
and the
milk
bags exploded.
Didn't milk delivery? Wasn't it always like glass jars and shit? Usually in like a milk crate.
I know Grandma and Grandpa used to get it as the fucking cardboard carton,
Yes.
which makes sense.
But before that,
But a
Curtis,
bag?
hang on, but before that, Grandpa did get the glass jars of milk.
oh, no
Milk
shit.
delivery. Like there was a fucking milkman that came to
You
your
know what?
house.
That explains how they
That-
have so many glass jars.
Does that exist still? The milkman comes to your house, brings you milk?
Grandma and Grandpa have
They still have the sign, and he still puts it in the window.
Yeah, but no.
I don't know if it exists.
I haven't seen a milk truck. I haven't seen a milk truck
That's true.
since I was probably grade 8. I don't remember them after about 2011, 2012.
That's even pretty late. Did you actually see one there? Like
Oh
late?
fuck, the guy
late?
used to come all the time.
Really?
Yeah. I remember him coming when I was in grade 6 for sure. And that was 08, 09.
Yeah.
And then 7, it's
A little fuzzy.
yeah.
Fuck the milkman.
I
What a weird concept. Because you go get your groceries.
it's
you know what it
Why
is?
don't you just get your milk?
It's so fucking alien now. You know what? I wonder. Like this is the fucking thing. If like Blake's dad's gonna listen to this or something, fucking Brad's gonna listen to this podcast. He's gonna listen to this episode, and he's just gonna be like, "What the fuck are they talking about? They don't know anything."
Right.
Because that's his time, and we're just here like postulating
fuck.
why did they have a milkman? And
It's the same shit as online shopping for your groceries now.
Okay, hang on, but
It's the same
I'm trying
shit,
to put
except
my I'm
not
trying to
just
put myself
milk.
I'm trying to put myself back in the time. Why, when you
I want
got
milk.
your groceries, did you not get milk, or maybe you couldn't get milk and the milkman was the farmer? Where did that start?
well, that's,
It was. I imagine
that's
it was
the
kind of like the
thing.
flamethrower. Hey, I want that, but it's all the way over there.
I don't know if it's as simple as that.
Well, okay, so plastic bottles like actual like bottled water or milk in jugs or milk in cartons, like I mean cartons aren't really new, but plastics actually are relatively new.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just the fact that they had these glass bottles and it was
Reusing and picking up the empty
it
ones.
was just
and
like
just a service
it was
like that.
more economical,
Yeah.
as opposed to constantly buying glassware.
And throwing the fucking shit out.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a
What
good
if
point.
it was something about refrigeration?
I think it would also have a lot
Because
to
think
do with
of it
refrigeration.
way back then.
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking fridge. I'm gonna
That's
put it in
true.
the ground.
That's true.
That's
That's very true.
What? Because they're like, oh, here it is. It's cold. Bam! Every morning you get this much milk, if you pay us.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm no expert on.
Milk jugs.
I'm no expert on fucking milkmen.
Right.
I just know that if you lay them out for a long time, they expire faster because the milk doesn't like heat.
No. So it doesn't like when you put it in a bed under blankets on
Right.
a pillow.
Hey, it did that itself. You were in fucking Red Deer. You weren't around.
you weren't here.
You know what else sucks about milkmen is they evolved.
Okay.
They did. They started off as milkmen, then they became security men who come to your house. Hey, do you want
They're
this?
the same guys.
And then they also branched into the mailman department because they made a deal. And anyone who comes to your house and does service have branched off of the milkmen.
Creating jobs.
I'm calling you out right now. That's from South Park. That's
Yeah,
from fucking
exactly.
South Park.
It is. Exactly. Because the milkman used to fuck everyone's wives. And then the milkman got away, but they evolved into like security people.
Gotcha.
And- yeah, exactly.
That's fucking funny.
I love that episode. That show is,
Then everybody
just
is
gold.
truly fucking brilliant.
It
Like,
really is.
It's you know what? It really is finger on the pulse because they actually have a week to make an episode. So last week's drama becomes this week's South Park
Yes.
episode, and
Yeah.
they can do whatever the fuck they want with it.
Yep.
It really is brilliant, and I can't imagine the man hours it takes
Huh.
to pound out like how long are the episodes?
Half
like,
an hour.
Well, half hour. Like, I mean, 20,
Okay.
22 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
Like, I mean, like, if you think about it, how many fucking people are working on an episode?
Oh God,
A lot
How
more
many-
than
what's
they
their-
used
what-
to.
What is
So
their
many.
fucking setup like? I couldn't imagine.
Imagine
These guys have been around for what, 18 years? Has it been that
over,
long?
Over 20 seasons.
Is that what? Yeah. So let's say 20 years. How much of these guys have built a fucking empire?
But you gotta
Oh,
also look
yeah.
at it too.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at look at the first episode, for example, when Cartman's fucking anal probe. That's all paper.
Dude, that
They
was all
did
cut
that
out,
by hand.
and yeah, everything
Yeah.
you could
Imagine
tell.
how long
Yeah.
those took
Yeah,
compared to what they did
Holy
now.
fuck,
Dude.
yeah.
like I think literally the second episode got away from that, didn't they?
I'm not sure.
I think they actually drew it rather than did the cardboard cutouts.
I'm not sure. Either way,
I can't
still
remember.
impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
It is like the thing I like about South Park is actually that like the art style is so
Simplistic.
crude, but
Yeah.
it's so like it's just charming and they can do so much with it. You
Yeah.
know, like
Well, and now that like I mean, they keep the same art style, they keep the same 2D kind of whatever, but I mean, they
Smooth.
refine the little things, the mouth movements, or every now and then they'll throw something 3D in there, and it's just like you said, they're able to do so much with it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what isn't cool? Having to drink an entire glass of vinegar just to prove a point.
That was an excellent segue. I want to applaud you for that.
Thank you. But no,
This is super fucking awkward. You guys can't see, but I'm like
staring me
trying
into the
to
soul.
talk to Curtis right now, but I'm like kind of angled on the mic, and I'm like, my arm is wrapped under the mic. I'm trying to
Just
clap close enough
without
that you can
banging
hear.
it.
Like, I actually, I don't think I've, like, this thing looks like it's gonna face fuck me. I'm so uncomfortable.
Just a foreign object, eh?
Yeah, it's
totally
just,
foreign to
like,
you.
Just
my
gonna titty
whole
fuck you out of nowhere.
front of my view is just this fucking
Titty
mic.
fuck you like the devil in fucking This Is the End. Jonah Hill.
Bryn's getting titty fucked. Oh, man.
man.
But no, yeah, no. Do you want to tell a story? Or do you want me
Well,
to tell a
Curtis, you
story?
tell a lot of fucking stories. Let Brendon tell this
Okay,
one.
That's why I asked him.
Okay, all right.
Spare no detail.
So,
And if there's anything wrong, I won't interrupt him. I'll correct it at the end, even though I just interrupted him right now.
yes. Yeah.
Right.
So, this story is actually about Curtis, but it's still my pleasure to tell it because it was very fucking funny. So, we went to Houston Pizza a few weeks ago, and we were there with Steven, Tyler, and Caitlin. And
You were there with Steven Tyler?
No, Steven and Tyler,
Oh!
not Steven Tyler.
That's two different people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you were name dropping.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, that was a separate time we were there with Steven Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
Yeah.
another
That was
story.
the week after.
That's another story.
Yes, that's right. So we were there. We had our fucking dinner, and I don't know, the waitress. She was pretty cute. What do you figure?
Oh yeah, she was
What do you
pretty
figure?
cute.
Yeah,
Nice bum, nice everything.
yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Might as well. Yeah,
I can do it.
yeah. I feel it.
So Curtis, being the charmer he is, he wrote her a note on a napkin. He actually borrowed her pen to write the note. Really cementing that transfer of DNA before anything serious happened by getting his grimy fingers all over his grimy
Right.
chicken wing covered
It was
fingers
before I had
all
the
over her
wings.
pen.
It was before the wings. Wow, I
Uh,
just hypocrited myself, and I was
oh,
like, I
man.
won't interrupt to the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's
continue.
fine. It's fine. So he wrote her a note, and I think it was Curtis plus the waitress's name equals coffee ? If this equation is correct, call this number.
Call me a nerd. Fucking nerd.
Fucking
Who
nerd.
fucking does that?
This
I didn't
fucking
even do
nerd.
that.
Yeah, because you're just a lawnmower. That's why.
Yeah, fucking lawnmower. man.
Snapper.
What? Oh my god. Okay, you're gonna have to clarify what you mean by that.
That can be a story for when you're finished if you like.
Okay, yeah, because I'm interested in that.
Fucking John Deere
Um,
ass.
John Deere having ass.
So Curtis, he wrapped the napkin around the pen, gave it back to her, and she went back to the kitchen. When she came back, she asked us if we would like any more water. And
Typical thing for a waitress to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing suspicious
No.
whatsoever. At that point, Curtis did notice, however, that she didn't. It didn't seem like she had read the note, but we quickly found out that most likely she had. So she refilled our drinks, and I didn't drink mine. Just because I was talking to Caitlin, I think, about whatever it is Caitlin likes.
Right. Right.
No, she's great. Shout out to Caitlin.
Shout out.
Shout out to that Gable. Or Goble,
Gable?
whatever
That
the fuck it
Goble.
is.
Yeah. She's awesome. So basically, Curtis and Tyler started drinking their water, and they were like, this water tastes fucking weird. And I don't think Curtis got very deep in his, but I seem to recall Tyler went from like a full glass to a half empty glass before he realized, he's like, this is fucking vinegar.
Half a glass. How do you not tell me? Oh my
don't
god.
know.
He was
man.
thirsty, I guess.
I don't know.
So were you.
Oh, yeah, that's hang on now. What the fuck are you judging for? Just hang on. The story's not over.
No.
So
Houston pizzas, fucking waitress having ass.
So we were like, what the fuck? This is like 3/4 vinegar and 1/4 water. So
That's fucking amazing.
and
Good for her.
yeah, right.
Hang on.
Good
So-
for her.
So, Caitlin dropped a knowledge bomb on us that it was probably a game the waitresses had for guys that hit on them.
Yeah.
To put vinegar in their water just
Right.
to like fuck with them.
Right.
As you do.
Right.
And so Curtis was like, I will not be defeated. And she came back with what? She came back with the bills?
Yep.
Yeah, she came back with the bills, and he said, "Yeah, I'll take mine." And as she was handing him his bill, he was just downing this vinegar water.
vinegar
He was
water?
just like, "This is the champagne of victory. I don't even care." He looked her dead in the eyes.
Did you stare in her eyes like the whole
Dude,
time?
I stared into her soul. I didn't even flinch my mouth. Because you know when you taste something,
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, I stared and I was directly one-on-one. Like, I know what you did, but I don't give a shit. What are you going to do about it?
Fuck.
I just went ham.
That's funny.
And then and I was like, yeah, have a good one. And then she left. I was like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Don't let her see me like
Yeah,
this.
it's like I'm going to fucking vomit.
Oh, that's fucked.
And
up.
then Curtis had a powerhouse round of diarrhea because he
oh, probably,
like, come on,
dude. Like,
Or like, were you okay after? Because that would turn my stomach.
your
Dude, I
stomach,
threw
your
up that
stomach,
night.
your stomach
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been, your stomach would have been fucked for like days.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I fucking threw up that night, like, bad.
That's like, and that's why.
But I was okay with it.
Just for that one moment.
Yes.
And you know, all that proof to her was you're a dumbass. That's all that proof. She's not like, oh shit, this guy means business. She's like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
But you know what? That just proved to me why I appreciate Curtis as a friend, because I was like, who the fuck else would have done that?
That's very true. That's
like,
true.
come on.
It's called
Yeah.
standing
Come
up to
on.
your enemies.
It's called being brave.
Isn't that what Genghis Khan did?
No, he just raped a bunch of people and then
Right, stood up to his enemies.
He's like, Genghis Khan rolls up on a village.
Uh-oh.
All right, either you surrender all of your riches and you allow us to establish empire here and dominion over your people and you pay us taxes, and they go, or what? Genghis Khan pulls up a glass from Houston Pizza and fills it with vinegar and drinks it.
That
And
you
they
know
were-
what? That makes they're like, oh shit, this guy means business.
They were like, oh my god, just make him stop. That's disgusting. That's how he'd bend so many people to as well.
That's
and here's the
fucked.
thing too is with that
Carried on
entire
his legacy.
situation, I gave her the note like an idiot before our meal.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So I was like, as soon as I gave it to her, I was like, oh, she's gonna fucking spit in our food now. And it wasn't anything like, hey,
a
me,
bit of a
my dick,
gamble.
your ass equals
That's
good
true.
time.
That's
it was,
true.
hey,
It was kind of
you,
it was innocent
me,
enough.
How about a coffee? If it's
My
correct, contact
dick,
this number.
your ass.
It was literally innocent, and if it wasn't right, then whatever.
Yeah.
But it was to the point of like, you know what? I'd try it, but I'm not going down without a fight, and that's why I did the vinegar. Yes,
Right.
it's a fucking stupid thing to do. I agree fully. But I proved my point of, hey,
you can't fuck with me.
you think you're cool, huh?
right.
I'll drink your vinegar. What are you gonna do about it? And then you know what I did when I walked out too? I grabbed every single one of their mints in one handful and just walked out.
Got a badass over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even
Drank
though
that vinegar and took their mints.
I needed
Fuck
it.
you,
I
some
fucking
pizza.
needed it.
He is Genghis Khan.
He is Genghis-
He plundered their riches.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I didn't rape anyone.
Right.
Ri-
The proverbial rape was when you drank the vinegar.
Right.
Right.
That-
You
that was-
stared into her soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the only one that lost there was Curtis's bowels.
Yeah.
Actually.
Curtis's fucking old body.
They're
is
they're
fucking-
like, I'll just get 100 more of the 10,000 mints we have in the back, put them in the bucket,
exactly.
and I'll go rinse this vinegar water cup out,
That
and
this
I'll
fucking
I'll
idiot
continue
drank.
with my night. And there's Curtis at home eating mints, belly full of vinegar. Curtis lost. In the
Yeah.
end, he lost, but in the
Yeah.
moment, he won the battle, but he lost the
Oh,
war.
he lost the war. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
My throat will never be the same because of all that acid.
All that ass.
It was bad. But no, that's
Yeah.
bad.
100% true
bad
story.
with 2 A's.
But I like how Tyler took so long just to go, hang on a second. This isn't water.
Oh
He
no.
took his time to figure it out.
That's funny.
I just wow, a whole glass, man. Like
Fuck that.
That's-
Never again.
that's pretty unreal.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can honestly say that's why I love my friends. Like I say that no bluff because like I don't know. It's not an outstanding story, but it's a story that's
just funny.
It's just us, man.
Yeah.
Like it's
There wasn't a stage. There wasn't anything. It was just me just like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do.
it was so
I'll
in the
show you.
moment, and it was so
Raw.
like that's exactly like knowing Curtis, being Curtis's friend for so long. That's exactly how he'd react. And furthermore, Tyler would definitely drink half a glass of vinegar before he realized.
We keep saying, can't believe you got through it. You're like, yeah,
But
you
can
can
you?
kind of think about it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can kind of see that.
And that's why I climbed the fucking mountain with these guys. I wanted to talk
Exactly.
about that.
And that's not a
for
metaphor.
sure.
That's a real fucking thing.
Before though,
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
before that, can I bring up the spirit of the forest? Keith, do you know this
Yes.
story?
Oh my god.
I think you did
Yes.
tell me this, but I would love
So,
to hear it again.
We're sitting at our campsite in Revelstoke, and Blake's fucking cooking up breakfast. Brandon's out. Brandon and I are fucking around, and then we needed a stick for some. Oh, Blake wanted a walking stick for when we climbed Bagby. This was the same day, so we're fucking sitting there. We're just eating breakfast, and Steven's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna fucking break this stick off the tree." So breaks the stick off the tree, and then this fucking little kid, like out of nowhere, just appears and is like, "Hey, you guys know you can't have fires, right?" We're like, "Yeah," and he's, "Cause if you do, it's gonna spread, and then you'll burn everything down." And then Brandon was like, "Okay, can you like get out of our campsite?" And just stared at him. So the kid stood there. What felt like 3 hours was only probably like a second and a half. And as he ran away, our neighbor had their RV plugged in, and he tripped over the cord of the RV and ate shit. Like as soon as he hit, because it was so dry, the fucking dust looked like looked like the fucking looked like the Mojave Desert during a big windstorm, just all over the place.
Oh yeah.
So Brandon and I start pissing our pants laughing and trying to contain it, but we can't. Then he comes back and he's, what did he say exactly? Oh, he was like, "I'm not afraid of you." And we're like, "What?" He's like, "I have a knife." I'm like, "Okay. What are you going to do with it?" And he just ran away.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was something like that. I don't remember
It was-
exactly what he said, but he had the balls to come back and be like, "I have a knife. I'm not afraid of you." I'm like,
Well,
I didn't.
Yeah,
do
he's
anything.
just some little kid, so we just kind of. I mean, he's obviously not gonna actually do anything, so we just kind of mean mugged him and he left.
The
Like-
spirit of the forest.
Yeah, because as soon as Steven broke the branch out of the tree, he was there. So I'm like, it's the spirit of the forest. He's not fucking anything else.
He's an apparition. It's not a real person.
I never
The
saw him
dust
again.
was his the dust was his part of his escape, but it failed.
Smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb.
I know, and then we fucking climbed that mountain, and then Steven took that stick halfway up the mountain.
Yeah, he took it halfway up the mountain, then his arm got tired, so he threw it down.
See that mountain, that mountain is like
Hard.
at the up at the glacier. I want to say it's 9,000 feet elevation above sea level.
That's a lot of
And
feet.
Revelstoke, like down at the bottom of the mountain, you're 1,700, 1,800 feet elevation. So you're climbing fucking over 7,000 feet. on a 6 kilometer trail, that's fucking steep.
Yeah.
That's a steep trail.
I looked at my phone after we were done, and it said we had 39 kilometers tracked in steps.
Oh,
Just in steps, yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
that like
Because each step, like, I mean, you're not going a full step horizontally. You know what I mean? When you're going that
Up, down,
step,
left,
you're
right.
going up, down, yeah, up, down, left, right. Like, I mean, you're not going straight horizontal. So, I mean, yeah, I believe 39 kilometers for sure.
well, what we found a lot was that some of the trails on that mountain are so goddamn steep.
Yep.
And there's no handholds whatsoever.
Nope. No.
That you actually just have to sprint up them until you get to a section that's safer.
Yep.
Because if you try and pussyfoot your way up them,
You're going to fall. You're going to slip and go. You're
gonna
going down.
slip and you're going like
Yeah.
straight down the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I climbed that one 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was fucking awesome. It was it was really good. It was a test. It was a mental and physical test. And
It was
good.
It was a
great.
lot of tests for myself because I had a very, very, very bad cold at this time. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do before we climb a mountain?
Hike!
Take a fuck ton of Buckleys.
Oh,
And what Buckley's does is it relaxes everything because you're supposed to relax. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm going to climb a mountain.
nah, bro.
So I just wanted to die halfway up the mountain. But I remember every vivid point, every stop we made. I remember everything. Because I was just like, whoa, look at this. And it was, oh, look at this. And it was like, there was something after another.
Right.
I think one of the most astounding things was when we fucking had to crawl across that avalanche that just happened
Yes. Yeah.
in July.
So yeah, that was the coolest thing
Yeah.
about it was there was a tree. There were several trees that had been
Oh, that
taken out by
fucking-
this
yeah.
avalanche, and I assumed they'd been buried like deep in the winter. But by then it was July, so everything on the mountain was thawing. Or
It was
thawed
thawed already,
It was
yeah.
thawed. It was completely
was
dry,
dry.
except for this avalanche path where the snow was so packed and so hidden in the shade of the trees that there was still just mounds of snow.
Yep.
See, that's the thing with avalanches is, like, I mean, I used to snowmobile a lot in the mountains, and before we went to the mountains, Dad and I got level 1 and level 2 classroom and field certified for avalanche awareness and rescue and all that kind of shit, and that was awesome. But you don't like. I mean, you know what it's like to shovel wet snow. I mean, that's
Sucks.
fuck all. You know when the grader goes by and pushes the fucking snow up to the sidewalk, and you're like, I just shoveled that, and you got to go shovel that shit. It's essentially like that, but however much snow that fucking slid.
Yeah.
But it's where, like, it's fucking, it's terrible. It's like digging through concrete.
yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's so where did you say you took that? That was
We took the classroom here in Regina,
Okay.
and then for the level 2 field training, we went to Fernie, BC.
okay.
And we actually took a rode up with the same instructor and rode up on our sleds and met them all up there. They took us through, here we're going to cut a section out of the snow. We're going to go through the layers. We're going to show you what layers are stable and why they're not stable or stable. You know what I mean? And the best
Snow science.
yeah, the best description I can give is picture a layer of just ball bearings. So, like, it's not a pile, it's just one layer of them, right? So you put a piece of plywood on top. Okay? So the ball bearings underneath is like that it's like the sugar kind of snow. It's the granulated snow. It's really kind of round, and it'll fall it flows smoothly, right? It's kind of like more like an ice. But you have that, let's say that's your bottom layer, that's your ball bearings. And then you got your hard packed snow. Let's say you got 3 or 4 or fucking 6 feet of hard packed snow. And then on top of that, you got fluff. You got the stuff you want to go snowmobiling in, you want to go skiing in, you want to kick that stuff up. Picture that like popcorn. So you got you got the fluff on top, the hard pack, and the granulated snow. Pictured as popcorn, plywood, ball bearings. All it takes on a little bit of a slope, if there's enough friction to hold it, it won't move. But you touch that hard pack of snow or you touch that plywood, it's rolling down those ball bearings and not fucking stopping until it gets to the bottom, and that popcorn's coming with it. So all that hard pack and all that fluff on top is fucking coming, and it's not stopping. It's
just like
and
Alex Jones.
You don't hear shit. You don't hear shit, especially if you're snowboarding or skiing or snowmobiling. You don't hear that at all. It doesn't sound like a fucking. It doesn't sound like a freight train. It doesn't sound like any. It's just. And it just slides. It's crazy, fucking crazy.
Wow.
I was part of a mini slide, and I mean, so many, like, I could put my snowmobile on top of it, and like that's what happened. So I took my snowmobile up over a cornice. I kind of did a bit of a half turn, came down, and when I landed, I hit a piece of that, like the unstable snow. But I mean, it was maybe only 8 feet wide and 12 feet long. I mean, it was very, very small. But I felt the power behind just that small patch of snow, and it carried me and my sled like no fucking problem 100 feet, and I'm holding onto the sled. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see what this is like. I said, I know nothing around me is falling, because I mean, I'm looking around, and it scared the fuck out of me. Honestly, it was weird, very, very weird. But I couldn't imagine like a full on avalanche getting trapped in that shit, man.
No.
No
Oh, yeah.
fucking way.
Even like even us walking across it, just seeing, because there were some people ahead of us that came as they were coming down. They're like, yeah, we can't go anymore because the path is taken out from this avalanche.
Right.
And we're like, well, fuck it, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We continued forward, and like I'm really happy we did.
Of course.
Because we actually, you can't make the final ascent on Bagby. You can't get to the very peak without mountaineering equipment.
No, you
And
can't. You have to climb the glacier, and
Yeah.
especially in July or any time like summer or fall, that glacier is fucking hollow underneath. And if that ice ever broke away, goddamn, you're dead. There's
Yeah.
no fucking question.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you get past the tree line, like when you're up near the glacier, getting a helicopter up there would not be hard.
Right.
But I was thinking the whole time we were in the forested part, if one of us gets hurt, we're going to have to carry them either to the bottom or to the top.
Yep.
And either way,
It's gonna
we're
suck.
halfway up a fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be super fucked. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
broke your leg, good luck, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Like okay, you guys took the main trail up to the camp, right?
Yeah.
And then
Then we went
was
backcountry
there a
from
what's that?
we went backcountry from there. We just kind of went.
Yeah, because there was no trail
No,
to get to
after
the
the
glacier.
camp, they're
You
like,
have to
"You
climb. You have to climb like fucking little mini cliffs, and
we got
I think my favorite part of that whole climb is right near the glacier. When you're making that final ascent, it looks like stairs
Yeah.
because the water just eroding everything. It looks like a fucking stairway, man.
Yep.
It's cool. It
Yeah.
was so cool.
I remember when we got just after the camp on top of the hill, and we're like, oh, there's so much. And I think it was it Steven and Blake that were like, we should probably start heading down now. Then I was like, I'm going up. I said, I'm not going until I find that pool of water.
Fuck yeah, you came
I was
that
like, I just
far.
came
You're
all
gonna
this way.
Go an extra kilometer and get to that.
I could be
fucking
wrong.
glacier.
I could be just fucking thinking that, but I thought someone said we should just probably go back down because
No,
it was
that's-
getting late.
That's right. That's right. And a storm actually did blow in when we were coming down the mountain,
Yeah.
and it was
Bad.
it knocked down some trees. It was raining, so it was getting really slippery. But that's sort of an
The
aside.
tree that fucking blocked our
Like,
path. And the,
It
Weren't you just wearing running shoes too?
I was wearing your hiking
Oh,
boots that
you
were
were.
too small for me.
I was wearing-
and
that's
fucked
right.
my feet up.
I was wearing Asics, like I was wearing running shoes.
Yeah.
And that honestly, they were pretty good, but it's kind of an aside. Like really, what I wanted to talk about was
Was it diving the glacier?
No.
Oh.
We'll get to that. Blake and Steven had a good point, because I feel that if we had been up there any longer, we would have been at the mercy of that storm at the top of the mountain, and it was raining hard and it was thundering and
Yeah.
lightning.
And which is
So-
not good when you're fucking 9,000 feet off the
No,
ground.
not at all.
Yeah.
No. But
Worth
there was just kind of a real come to Jesus moment where I just kind of, Curtis was like, I want to go further. I want to get the glacier water.
Yeah.
And I just kind of looked at everyone. I was like, guys, like, we're here right now. We just climbed a fucking mountain to get up here. and like what's
I dropped my
what's a
bag.
what's a few more steps, man?
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yep.
And like the thing is, whenever you're sort of in those situations where it's like you're fighting between, you know, the beauty of nature and you're fighting between the absolute how absolutely terrifying it is.
Yeah.
You really just kind of
You gotta
make a call, and you gotta make it now.
Yep.
And all you can actually do is hope to God it was the right one, because like you were saying with the avalanche training, you did that, I assume, because you wanted to go snowmobiling and be safe, right?
I didn't want to be that guy on the fucking mountain. No beacon, no probe, no shovel, no radio, and be out by myself because I don't know the hazards. I'm like, oh, this is fun, and holy fuck. And now what? Now I'm alone. I have no way to reach anybody. I'm fucking stuck in the snow, and I'm going to suffocate. I'm going to die. Yeah. I'm not going to be that guy. And there's a lot of people up there who do that. And some of the guys who do that are locals, and they feel they get complacent. You know what I mean? They understand. They know, oh, I know this mountain. I know this mountain. It's like, okay, I get it. You do this all the time. But at the same time, don't go by yourself, man. Don't be fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know, you want to go out and die. It's like, oh, if I die, I'm doing something in my life. It's like, that's not the point. Who are you leaving behind?
Yeah.
You know, I want it to be that I want it to be educated enough that I could not only protect myself, but be able to rescue anybody else in a situation where I might have to.
Exactly. And that's because I think everyone in this room, we all have an appreciation for the beauty of nature and just the majesty of how
100%.
like fucking like it's big, man.
Oh yeah,
it's big. And I don't mean big as in physically large, it's just big.
Yeah,
there's so
I know
much
what you mean.
to it.
Yep.
And it's got so much power and so much force. And when we were on the top of that mountain and that storm was rolling in and you wanted to go further, I was just like,
everybody
we are at the complete mercy of this mountain right now.
Absolutely.
And it really is just kind of it's a come to Jesus moment. It's like, what is my call here?
Right.
It's that duality of appreciation at the same time being fucking scared.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
See, when I climbed it, it was fucking gorgeous. It was perfect. I didn't have any of that shit. So I can't really relate, but I can only imagine that. Like, I mean, I've been in some shit fucking weather snowmobiling. You can't see, like, I mean, Brendon, me to you is what, 6 feet? I would not be able to see.
I remember that on the top of Boulder when
Yeah.
you, me, and Ed
Yeah,
were there.
yeah, me and Ed were up there.
Yeah, that was bad.
Dude, I couldn't see anything. We had to stop because if we drove anywhere, if Curtis stopped in front of me, because I took up the back of the pack, if Curtis stopped in front of me, I would have hit him. No choice.
Mm-hmm.
I was up on, I couldn't see, one of these times I couldn't see fucking maybe 10, 15 feet in front of me. And I was following the guys in front of me, and they are locals. So they're fucking flying. They know exactly where they're going. I'm trying to follow their tracks because now I can't see them. And at one point, I'm like, did they go left? Did they go right? I'm like, it looks like the freshest tracks went left. And it turns out somebody had actually gone in front of us and went on. And I followed their fucking tracks. And I got fucking lost. On a fucking mountain, I must have been 2 kilometers away from everybody. But because we had the training, because we were prepared, I had a radio, I had all that shit, I had food, I had all. I mean, I wasn't scared. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, leave my sled running, because then when the guys are like, oh shit, where is he? Everybody knows, because it's our plan. Turn the sleds off, and listen,
Because you'll hear it.
It's like, okay, there's a sled running. I know that's his sled. I can hear. That's his muffler. It's very, very distinct. You know what I mean? You kind of get to know each other's sounds.
Yep.
And I turn my radio on, you know. I'd give a call every couple of minutes to Dad, and nothing. And then finally he gives me a call. He says, hey, where are you? I was like, I don't know. I'm down. I told him, I said, where the tracks branched off left and right, I went left because that's where it looked like the tracks went. He's like, no, we went right and we're up top. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm down here. So he's like, okay, my sled broke down up here, so I have to try and fucking fix it. So he's trying to fix it, and then the locals are like, yeah, I know exactly where he is. So they came down, they got me, we made a couple climbs, but yeah, no, it's being at the mercy of the weather and being at the mercy of the mountain. It's like you said, it's big, it's power, you can't fucking do anything.
I remember when all of us were sitting there on that little mound of rocks there, just looking up at the glacier, and we're like, and they were saying, oh, I don't know if we should keep going or not. And I was like, I fucking came all this way. I'm not done now. I dropped my bags. I grabbed the 2 thermoses, one for you and one for my girlfriend at the time. And I was like, I'm fucking going up there. And I just started going. And then Brendon was like, fuck it. And then Brendon started going along as well.
Yeah.
You know, then it's Blake and Steven, maybe Tyler. I don't think Tyler did. I think Tyler came with us. I don't remember exactly. But someone stayed behind and they were like, fuck. And then they just came along too.
Yeah.
And then it was climbing, and then we got to a little pool of a glacier. Then I was like, no, there's still more to go. I was like, this isn't what I wanted. So we kept going up and up, and I got exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I got exactly. And then that, even though there was storm one side, blue clouds one sky, high winds, high everything, I remember looking down on absolutely everything. And that was the moment of just like freedom.
Yeah.
That you just felt. I don't want to be like, spiritual, but like, literally, you
It felt
sat
like
there.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
It feels like, I mean,
you
you're
fucking
like,
conquered
yeah.
That's
that mountain.
they
like I said.
literally. It's literally called a mountaintop experience for a reason.
Yeah.
It's because and not, I know I sort of have my speech about like the duality of nature. I really mean that. Like, I don't want to get too much into, you're right, the spiritual aspect of it. But I don't know, man. It puts a tingle in your balls. You're just like, fuck.
That was the gold bond.
That's right. I brought foot powder and we
Dude, that
we
was
made sure we didn't chafe.
That was our saving grace.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyways,
well, it's being up there and just looking down like it's that I am terrified that something could go horribly wrong and we'd be absolutely fucked, but at the same time I just spent a goddamn day climbing up here.
I'm not gonna turn back now.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the view, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, I don't give a shit about that storm. Storm can eat my ass.
Right.
But no, I remember sitting there, and then the reason that I wanted to keep going is because I made a promise to you,
Right.
and I made a promise to, again, girlfriend at the time. I was like, I said I would grab water. I said, so I gotta get up to where I can get it.
And for anybody who doesn't necessarily know, like glacier water, I mean, when it rains, it's water. It's not water with fucking minerals in it.
Acid water.
It hasn't hit anything yet. When water evaporates, it doesn't bring anything up in the air with it.
It's water.
It's water. So when it snows up top on that fucking rock mountain, there's no dirt. There's no trees. There's no fuck all up there.
Stone.
That water, yeah, it's stone. It's rock. That's all it is. That water you get from the top is the cleanest you're ever going to fucking drink in your life.
Yep.
And to attest to this, I had a thermos. From when I climbed it 6 years ago, my thermos, when I went up there, got as high as I could get. I got water right off the ice. Not out of the pool. I got water right off the ice.
Yep.
It dripped into my fucking thermos.
Yep.
I had that for 5 years. Every few months, I'd look at it and be like, oh, fuck yeah. And I would open the top, smell it. Fuck, it smells like mountain. It smells so good. I didn't sterilize this water. I didn't treat this water. I didn't do anything. All I did was my normal water throughout the day. I would fill it up at streams, and the higher I got, the less cautious I was. But the farther down you are, the higher likelihood you're going to get, beaver fever or fucking different shit like that, different viruses, whatever.
Beaver fever.
So the higher I got, the less cautious I was, and the less I started to treat the water. And when it was just my normal thermos for the day. When I got to the top, I filled it, and I'm like, I'm not drinking this all the way down. It took us, I think, 8 hours to get to the top, but like an hour to get down because we were fucking flying.
8 hours up, 2 hours down.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
every couple months, I would look at this thing, I would open it up, I'd smell it, and be like, fuck yeah, it smells good. I would take a sip, be like, fuck yeah, that tastes good. I'd close it back up, and I'd leave it. And then every couple months, same thing, every couple 2-3 months or whenever I looked at it, I'd be like, fuck, look at that. And I ended up going through about half the thermos, well, maybe 500 mils, like half a liter in like 5 years. I said, dude, you're going to Begbie? Because I'm like, fuck, take this thermos with you. Fill it back up for me.
Yeah.
Did you dump the old water out or just top it up?
No, I drank it.
Oh, you did?
I drank it. And
Nice.
then I filled it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every time I drank it, and did you have the shits?
No.
I didn't have
Fuck
the
no.
shits.
That was the best I ever felt.
Absolutely.
I
There's
remember
something about it.
when we were stuck in that really humid part of Bagby, and we came to that nice big open patch where Blake fucking Spider-Maned up on that rock and was staring at us.
Is that where you come up to? It's a big open green
Yep.
and yellow and
Yep.
blue meadow and
we
with the
just
waterfall?
threw our fucking, because the water's still cold as fuck
Fuck
because it's
yeah.
coming from the glacier. We just threw it in our faces. That was refreshing.
Holy shit.
That is probably the best feeling you're ever going to feel.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that because you're under this heavy canopy for so long, right?
Yeah.
And you finally get in this clearing and it's sunny, it's so green, right?
Yep.
And there's just these tiny streams of this cold ass water just running through, and you're just like, it's humid, it's hot, and you're just fucking like, oh god, like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
dying. And you don't want to dump out your drinking water, so we went to the stream, and like I dipped my whole goddamn head in because I was so fucking hot. Like, yeah, that meadow is truly beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
that's, and
That
I
whole
think,
climb. That whole climb
yeah.
is just gorgeous.
While tough as fuck,
Oh yeah.
worth it. Worth
Totally.
every single minute. I would
Hashtag worth it.
honestly, I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna get to the peak. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it one day.
Next time I'll go with you.
There you go.
yeah, no, you can bank on that. I'll be there, man.
Yeah, you will.
Fuck yeah. I
No.
I gotta
I think
learn,
we'll all be there.
gotta learn how to mountaineer, I guess.
Yep. I'll learn it when I have time.
I got a little bit of mountaineering skill, but not
Yeah.
much. Yeah. You'll have more than I do.
Yeah.
Don't they teach you that shit?
Not really.
Oh,
Like the
Like,
prairies. Hey, can you see that thing all the way over there? Yeah.
walk
Okay,
to it.
good.
yeah.
Take a leisurely stroll to it. There's no
Yeah.
hills. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no hills except if you're in fucking Dundurn, which is the anomaly of Saskatchewan, because it's
Yeah.
the hilliest motherfucker.
Well,
Oh,
Cypress
God.
Hill too. Cypress
Oh,
Hill's
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
pretty hilly.
Cypress. and all
Well, I
that
guess yeah,
stuff.
because I mean it's not far from Swift, right?
It's closer to Saskatoon. Like, it's.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
right
I thought
by
you said Swift. Not
Saskatoon.
sorry. No, yeah, Dundurn's close to that.
Dundurn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Dundurn. You know, I was on exercise in Dundurn. I was talking to my friends, like, obviously there's a huge part of the training area that's been used for artillery testing.
Yeah.
So it's shaped by craters.
Right.
And that would be why it's so hilly. But that doesn't explain the rest of the training area, which is hillier.
Right.
And yeah, that's probably the most vertical fucking place I've ever been to in Saskatchewan.
Really?
Like, yeah, man, some of those hills I was driving through with an off-road vehicle, and like I'm like 30-degree inclines, probably.
Oh shit,
30
that's pretty
foot-
steep.
30-foot high.
Pretty
hills.
fucking
Like,
steep.
it's just, oh man.
Oh, for here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not huge, but like, I don't know.
When you compare it to the rest of Saskatchewan, it's fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, I have this theory that the way they actually chose military training grounds was not necessarily based on the cost of the land or necessarily the prime location of the land, but that they were just like, what's gonna suck the most for the troops using it?
You know what? Possibly, because you gotta breed that. Well, not breed that shit, but I mean, you gotta train people to fucking be in this elite group of people.
You need to be like
You
ready.
yeah,
Best of
you
the
gotta.
best.
You're like, okay,
Like, you're
they're
fucking-
gonna have to
You're
deal
pretty
with.
damn jacked, my friend.
Yeah, they're gonna have to deal with flat. They're
Well,
gonna have
thank
to
you.
deal with hills. They're
Thank
gonna
you.
have to deal with swamps. They're gonna have to deal with gullies. They're gonna have to deal with all this shit. So, you know, so that's probably not a bad theory.
Yeah, and you know, we do have certain training grounds for certain things.
Yeah.
Definitely some are more forested and some are more like plains. Some are closer to bodies of water. And a lot of the time we actually do a lot of training in the U.S. because their geography is so varied.
Yeah.
They do a lot of Arctic training with us. They sort of ship up to Alaska
Right.
and then across to Northwest Territories and Nunavut.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we go down to places like Florida to get acclimated to
Humid, swampy,
tropical
fucking
climates.
tropical climates. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, speaking about like the beauty of nature, as well as the military. As much as I shit talk Dundurn, I can honestly say that every time I go to Dundurn, I always find myself walking a long ass distance at night, and there's like little to no light pollution. So it's probably one of the best places in Saskatchewan for you to actually like just look at the stars and look at the night sky. There was one time we were out there and we could see Aurora Borealis.
Yep.
Yeah. In the winter, I was doing an exercise with the infantry. I'm a medic, so sometimes we get tasked out to infantry. Actually, a lot of people think that medic is sort of like an infantry job, like you know become infantry and then you specialize as a medic. That's not really how we do it.
Yeah.
It's a separate trade entirely. And some part of our job is obviously to do dismounted stuff with the infantry, go on patrols and search for the enemy, and then when one of our guys goes down, we pick him up, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
That's part of our job.
Okay.
Another big part of it is riding around in armored ambulances in war zones and picking up casualties in mass casualty situations. So the Americans have Blackhawks that we worked on in Afghanistan and Iraq. And as well, they're just armored. They're not armored fighting vehicles, but they are armored vehicles with V-shaped hulls.
Right.
That are. I don't think that they would be able to take like a sizable IED, but they can take mine hits. So
Right.
that's good.
Hang on 2 seconds. I'm having something happen here. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Sorry, I had something going on.
Okay. And in addition to that, we also have a fairly clinical role. So we people come see us for medical issues like I don't know, chest pain, sudden illness, stuff like that.
So normal
And
everyday
that's-
shit.
Yeah, and it's part of our job to assess them and send them to a higher medical authority, as well as to deal with trauma on the battlefield. And I find that in the health services group of the Canadian Forces, and especially among medical technicians, there are two sort of different mindsets. There's people that are very acclimated to high stress situations and they want to be out there on the battlefield, either with an ambulance or with the infantry, doing trauma. That's their bag. And then there's people that would rather do clinical assessments and work in unit medical stations, and they're both extremely important roles. It's just sometimes people get put in the wrong place, and you see them. I don't want to say fail, but they do poorly.
Yeah.
What was my point, man? What was my point?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Yeah. I guess my point was that our roles are, I feel, and this is entirely my opinion, just my own. I feel that a lot of medics leave the forces because they end up in a position that they're not doing what they want to do.
Right.
And that everyone else, every other trade in the forces doesn't fully understand what our full
Right.
scope of practice is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys just get into it and they think it's going to be one thing and it's totally a different thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, the better scenario is you have someone who likes being a tactical medic. You have them in a clinic and they hate their life, but they're going to be okay. The worst case scenario is you have someone that prefers to be in a clinic and they're on a battlefield and
They're
they
picking bodies
develop
and-
PTSD.
Yeah, my a good friend of someone I know, he was one of those guys. He was the guy on the field, and he was the guy digging the holes for the bodies and all that shit. And he developed the PTSD, and he actually ended up killing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just couldn't handle it. He was a totally different dude when he came back. Totally.
Well, it'll change your perspective on absolutely everything, right?
Oh, fuck
It's
yeah.
one thing to sit here and, I'm going to play Call of Duty. Oh, I try. It's one thing to sit or watch an action movie, watch anything.
Right.
It's one thing for that, but to be in that position
When it
is-
gets real, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's when it's like,
I
oh,
can't-
shit.
Yeah. And you guys were saying earlier, like I agree, it's good to expose the troops to
Everything.
various hardships. That's totally fine. But I don't think necessarily, just from my point of view as a soldier, I don't really think that we are like super elite. I mean, we're there to do a job. Some people are passionate about the job and some aren't, but we're just regular ass people that have been taught how to do some very skillful things in very high stress environments.
Right.
And obviously not everyone can thrive in those environments, but I feel that a lot of people would be surprised at what they can handle if they
Yep.
I don't know if they
were in that
If they were
that
in
kind
that
of a strenuous
situation.
situation, yeah.
if they had the skills to deal with it. I think that a lot of people would find that they're a lot stronger than they think. At least I did.
Yeah.
Going through my basic training and my soldier qualification, and even my medical training, my EMR course I found was more stressful than my soldier qualification because I felt that the soldiering skills came more naturally to me than actual medical skills.
Right.
And that they're difficult for different reasons, and a lot of people would probably disagree with me on that, but that's what I found, at least.
Yeah.
Is when I went through basic, I didn't have too much trouble adapting to things, and that surprised me because I didn't necessarily doubt myself heavily. I was just like, I think this is gonna be like way harder.
Yeah,
than it
you just
actually
didn't
was.
know where your limits were.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But you get there, and you get yelled at, and you
Yep.
it's shitty, but you survive to the end of your course, and you're like, holy fuck, I know how to do all this stuff I didn't before.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can actually deal with these high stress situations. And eventually, like, they're screaming at you to like put your gun back together faster, and you're just like not, hands not even shaking. You're just like, you know what, this is the fucking game. That's the thing. Like,
That's
it's
cool.
It's just all basic training is stress inoculation. They're not yelling at you to
Belittle you or break you.
break you. They're actually yelling at you to expose you to stress and to see how you react.
Yep.
to this place that's very regimented and very harsh on people that can't meet a standard.
Right.
That's actually all it is.
Yeah.
Really, when you break it down to its barest parts. Yeah, I don't know. People tell me like, "Oh, what you do is crazy." And I'm like, "Man, like I'm a dude that just fucking joined the Army Reserves. Like, dude, I'm not even a qualified medic yet. I tell people I've shot machine guns and fucking stayed up for 3 days, and they're like, that's crazy, man. It's like, no, it's not.
You're like, you're not even there
you
yet.
could absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I don't know. And that's not to put down, you know, the very difficult things that some people in the forces do. I've never found that it's, you know, so difficult as to really, you know, I've never found it so difficult that I was like, I'm a fucking badass for doing this. I've always just found it's like, oh, cool. So that was kind of hard, but you know,
Stayed humble.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because some people take it to way too extremes, right? And they can fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's definitely personalities like that in the forces.
Oh, for sure.
You know, there are elite groups, obviously, but what you'll find with those guys is they are extremely humble. They do not consider themselves like elite super soldiers, like special forces guys. They're some of the humblest people I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah. They are totally dedicated to their craft, and they're super good at it, and they are confident in their skills, but they are not cocky.
Yeah.
Because
That's cool.
cocky people don't survive in high stress situations because they do not have the humility to say when they're wrong and to ask people for help, and that is how teamwork fails.
That's
exactly.
Abso-fucking-lutely how teamwork fails, because you get the cocky guy, he thinks he can do everything himself.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want to ask for help. He doesn't think he needs help. It's like, you got to know, you got to be a leader. You got to and you know what? Not everybody's a leader, but you also have to know your role, you know, and the guys who, I mean, I'm not talking obviously military here. I don't know anything about it, but I mean, just personality wise, the guys who are cocky and all fucking the flashy, you know, they'll fuck up more than the guys who aren't. You know, they'll make those mistakes, and they'll slip up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you can't tell me that you don't know something because you're trying to fucking impress people, like, I don't want you around.
Nope. Fuck no. The best kind of people are the ones who can admit when they're wrong and take the opportunity, learn, better themselves, and like, what do you fucking like? Well, yeah, like you said, you tell me you know what you're doing, even though you don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, I got this.
Yeah.
Do you though? Do you know anything about what we're fucking doing? You know, I don't know that you know. And like you said, just to fucking impress you, and then, oh man, well, I thought I had it. It's like, well, don't fucking tell me you have it if you don't have it.
A very poor, very, very poor example of this is when I was at Chuck E. Cheese, and this little kid came up and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna play you in Guitar Hero." I was like, "Okay." So then he went up, and he's like, "Can you play expert?" I was like, "Yes, I can." "Can you?" And I'm the best at this game. It's okay, so let's go with the hardest song.
Hang on, how old is this kid?
Oh, he's fucking probably 6.
And how old are you?
I was 18.
Okay, setting the story. Keep going.
Yes. So I'm like, okay, let's play fucking Surfing with the Alien by Joe Satriani. And he's like, yeah, no problem. I'll 100% this song. And in my head, I'm like, this kid might kick my fucking ass here. So I'm just playing. I'm not even looking at this thing. I'm just playing. And all I hear is Tyler behind me pisses his pants laughing. And then I took 1 second to look over, and the kid's and he's just hitting all the wrong notes. He didn't hit a single note the entire song. And as soon as I won with a 98%, the best I'll ever do in that song. And then he just threw the guitar. He's like, "This kid's fucking stupid." And I was like, it walks away. This kid was 6, and Tyler was like, "You just destroyed that kid's life." But that it's a very poor example, but it is an example of
overconfidence in your skills.
Exactly.
No, that's it's a fine example.
He had me
And
intimidated. He
you
had
know
me
what?
shook for a little bit.
Yeah, just shook.
But I didn't let my guard down. I was like, I'm gonna do what I can. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. And that's like, I think that's almost like a good point to make, because like that was a kid, like he was 6 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
So his overconfidence, that's, you know, oh, you having a little difficulty with your
I'm good.
fucking claw
I got
there?
it. I got
Yeah.
it.
The claw.
Fucking Keith's arm thing just like,
I almost dropped my mic on the
dismantled
floor.
or
Put it that way.
oh boy.
One messy boy.
So, like, he's a kid. It's totally cool for him to be cocky, because it's like
He's gonna learn.
He learned
No,
that day. He learned that day.
He learned today.
He learned today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he learned that day.
You stupid.
Like that's fine, but when
When you're a fully grown adult.
yeah, when you're a grown ass man and I'm like, "Hey dude, could you like go and ask the master corporal like when the fuck are we getting orders?" And they're like, "Oh, don't tell me what to do." It's like, go fuck yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And you know, everyone has their reasons for doing things, I understand. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that in the Canadian Forces, in the Army, we're in the business of war, and
You have no time for that shit.
yeah, we don't have time for that shit. We have more people in the organization that are like that than I care to have,
Yeah. One is too many.
but luckily we have enough fucking awesome people that can be humble
Yeah.
to offset those shitheads.
See, and that's I like to think of myself as a pretty, I don't know, a decent leader, a pretty good leader, and teamwork, a good, valuable member to a team. And I'll just take this to my job, because I mean, your job's military, my job is other stuff.
Yeah,
But I mean, like when I'm working, like we usually work in pairs.
Yeah.
You know, you keep each other on your toes. You know, everybody gets complacent, but I like to think of it as if we're in a situation and something is about to go fucking south, and maybe I can't see the picture and I can't see a solution. The guy next to me, even though he's not my superior, maybe he fucking sees something. He's like, "Okay, listen, Keith, go grab this, go get this. We're going to do this. We're going to hang it like this. We're going to do this, and it's going to work." I'll be like, "Okay, that's what we're going to do." And I'll go get that shit. I'm not going to fucking stand there for 5 minutes in this potentially dangerous situation, be like, "Man, you fucking tell me what to do. You go get that shit." Why would I fucking waste the time?
Yeah.
Why would I be difficult?
Yeah.
Because I'm your fucking boss.
That few
Fuck
extra
those
seconds
guys.
could save a life.
Absolutely.
Especially in
Fuck
the
those
situation
guys
that
who
you're
are,
in.
"Oh, you're not my boss."
Exactly.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys.
My favorite is when you
I-
are their boss.
One of my favorite sergeants I ever had, he would never hesitate to let someone correct him no matter what their rank, because he was humble enough to admit that he didn't know everything.
Right.
And like, I watched him one time. He was kind of, we have these tents that they're sort of sectioned, right? And we were setting up the tent, and he was kind of fucking something up with lacing two of the sections together. And a corporal comes up and he's like, "Sergeant, I think you're doing that wrong. I don't mean to speak after him." It's like, "Nah, fucking sort me out." Like, it's just like
Yeah.
like he's awesome leadership, because not only does he know his shit, he can also admit when he doesn't.
Because that's only going to make him a better leader.
Exactly.
He's going to know now what he didn't know there, he's going to know 10 seconds later, and he's going to carry that forth.
Yeah.
And you can never know too much.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah.
You know, the more you like, that guy's probably fucked up so much. That's how he learned. That's how people learn. You don't learn unless you fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can understand all you want, but I mean, you come across a situation where, you know, you're doing something that you're super comfortable with, and you're just doing it, and you're not really focused 100%. And let's say you misstep one little tiny thing here, and now the whole thing's fucked. And you're like, oh, fuck. Now are you not only going to know, I got to pay more attention when I'm doing this step, you're going to know how to fix it if somebody else fucks up or if you do it again.
Exactly.
You're going to know what to
Yeah.
do. So you got to fuck up to learn,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
And-
100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
I don't mean to cut anything short here, but we're at an hour 20, bro.
Oh shit.
Already.
I also gotta go to work.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you got to go.
Before I go though, since Brendon, I know you are leaving soon. I know I'm probably gonna see you again before you leave, but I just want to say to everyone on here that in the past 10 years, with you being around all the time, not like you're fucking dying or anything.
Yeah.
You're gonna be away for a while. I don't know when I'll see you again, but whatever. Like I said yesterday, we got Snapchat and everything. I just want to say good luck and thanks for being you, and thanks for loving me. Thanks for coming on Bagby, and I don't know, just love you, bro.
Yeah, I love you too, bro.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how else to say that nicer. I'm sure there was something I could have wrote, but
No, it's it's fucking.
improv is right from the heart.
It's been a good run, you know. It's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just
And
like
it's not over. It's just life, man. Life got to
Yeah.
take different ways.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a good point. I want to thanks for coming on today, man, and thanks for coming around. When you do, you know, we hang out, we have a good time here, and we fucking have supper, watch movies, whatever. And it's always a good time having you around. So
Yeah.
I wish you luck in what you're doing, and hope you come around again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better,
Always,
otherwise I'm gonna
always a
kick your
pleasure,
ass.
guys.
Yeah,
I'll,
for sure.
I'll drop in on another one of these episodes.
I was
I
gonna
hope.
say when you're back, you
Yeah.
let us know. We'll get you in on another one. You can tell us some stories
Yeah.
of what you can tell me.
You know what we'll do as well? If you're bored and if you got nothing to do, we'll fucking have you as a caller one time. Just because.
Yeah, have you call in,
Yeah.
give your opinion on anything.
A little Skype call.
Yeah, exactly.
something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing before we go, I'll obviously point out that, you know, I kind of glossed over the fact Dane's not here today. He's not dying. He's not sick or nothing. He's just fucking
Busy.
hashtag he had to work late. So, so yeah, he's been busting his fucking ass all week, as we all have. But I mean, he's out of town.
He's had a very, very busy
He's had a very tough week. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna record I don't know, maybe a 30-minute, maybe an hour. Who knows? We'll record a second kind of segment tomorrow, and we'll just call it a hashtag he had to work late, and we're gonna introduce that segment, and just it's not gonna be any really different than the podcast. It'll just be another episode.
This won't be a special guest like we do every Friday.
Right.
It'll
It'll just be catching up from the week or whatever that
Right.
you know that he missed during the podcast or whatever. So, or maybe I missed and you guys do a podcast one day and I'm not
Right.
here. We'll just do another
Catch up.
mini segment and you'll get a second episode whenever we have to work late. So
Well, hopefully.
yeah. So anyways,
Yeah.
thanks again for coming out, you guys. Episode 6.
Episode 6.
YouTube,
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud,
Spotify.
not Spotify yet.
Fuck.
Google Play,
Google Play.
Buzzsprout.
Fucking iTunes.
Yeah, we're getting there. Getting
Everywhere. You know, the usual. We'll post pictures of Brendon signing the door.
Yes.
On Facebook.
Gotta fucking sign that
'Cause I
door.
brought home
Leave your mark.
Yeah, leave
Leave
your
your
mark.
Wondering when you'd ask.
Yeah, thanks again for coming out, and we'll see